Dobar dan i dobrodošli u novu emisiju Business Talks na Poslovni TV. Neću opet govoriti da imamo najjača imena hrvatske poslovne scene kad baš preko puta mene sjedi glavni direktor tvrtke Nestle za Hrvatsku, Sloveniju i Bosnu i Hercegovinu, gospodin Dimitriu. Intervju je na engleskom jeziku, tako da možete pratiti titlove. Mr. Dimitriu, thank you for coming today and welcome to our show Business Talks on Poslovni TV.
Thank you very much.
Let's start with one question that I like to ask all of my guests first, because I think that's pretty relevant considering the times, challenging times we are living in. What did you learn in this crisis period, you as a manager, but on the company level also? What do you think it's the most important thing in handling a crisis?
The most important thing it is to be flexible, adaptable, and to learn new things, to adapt your strategy, to adapt your structure, to adapt your product, to adapt the ways of working. So agility to change, I would say it is instrumental.
Okay, but how to learn to be adaptable, you know? It's not an easy process.
Well, it's not, and you should not do it when the crisis is coming. You should have this. This is in your blood, or on the way the company is operating, the way you as an individual. Because it's not just the crisis which make you to adapt. You need to adapt. This doesn't matter you have a crisis or not. You need to adapt in order to be better than competition. And economy is changing. Consumer is changing. So adapting, or you'll die.
No matter the crisis, yes, I read one of your interviews and I'm quoting you now. I think we should lead the firm like it's a startup. So that's very interesting. Can you elaborate this? I think that's...
Yes, because you are not working like, like a clerk. You are not working in a state office where you need to do some papers. You really need to drive your business like your personal business. If you have a small business, you really need to understand what type of products the consumer is requesting you, what type of services. So being entrepreneurial and care about your money, you don't just invest without return on investment. So because working for a big company, you may have the tendency to say, okay, but we have budget here, we have budget there, so let's invest. No, you need to look on the return on investment, because if you invest from your own pocket, you'll make sure that by the end of the day you'll still have money in the pocket and your business is growing.
Have you noticed some changes in your corporative culture, in your business environment?
For sure, we have saw some changes with this crisis, let's say. First of all, there is a different ways of working, because we had to work being remote, with virtual meeting, with virtual gathering. So it is very, very clear that we saw a big change. And then the priorities. So, okay, priority remained the same. Because why I'm saying remain the same? Because safety was even before #1 priority for our company. So safety of our employees and our business partners was the most important objective, the priority #1. Then business continuity, to be able to produce and to deliver goods. Remember the years of COVID when you have custom issues and then also productions or delivery issues. So we had to handle all of this. So first of all, it is safety of our employees, then providing goods to consumers, and third, to support the local community. In this year, we have done many donations to support the local community, and it was quite difficult here in Croatia. It's not only COVID, we had the earthquake, so...
Yes. Okay, of course, there are changes in the behavior of your consumers. How did you adapt to that changes, and how did the behavior change? Especially in our regional and local market.
So, first of all, people, as I said, stayed home. Staying home was bad in one way, so for the out-of-home consumption, let's say, like restaurant. But in home, you see a high growth of consumption. People having more time to spend together in the kitchen, in the dining room, cooking together, being together, family, parents, kids. So this was a very important thing we look on to provide recipes for people to stay together more, so to cook together.
Does this mean that you had an increased number in sales?
So, yes, actually, the last 2 years we have very good positive results. Because in-home consumption grew very much, so in culinary, in coffee, in home.
Yes, but Croatia is a coffee nation.
It's a coffee.
Coffee nation.
Coffee nation. So you could imagine people not being able to be in a bar, in a coffee bar. So we bring the coffee bar at home with this Nescafe Dolce Gusto machines and system and recipes. You can have a fantastic coffee, like in any HoReCa location. And then we bring so many.
And there was a growth of premium brands, yeah? Right.
Nescafe Dolce Gusto, it is a premium. It is a premium solution, and it is a solution because it's not only just the coffee, but the system to prepare with the right pressure, you know, the right in-cup quality. So it was a premiumization, and then they need. This is in coffee, so we see a high growth in coffee in-home consumption, while of course HoReCa being closed, we saw a decrease. But all in all, here we gain. Culinary, another thing, people were looking for more nutritional value, more nutritional products, also for simple recipes. We launch different product, nutrition, let's say. We launch soups with super yuha, with vitamins, with things which are providing more health value to the consumer. Nowadays we are developing Garden Gourmet. Garden Gourmet, it's a vegetarian range of products, starting with a vegetarian burger, which is not only very healthy, but it's tasty like you are eating a normal burger, and it's sustainable for the planet.
I'm interested in pet industry. I think that's a very lucrative industry because there are no crises, am I right? Because people are taking care of their pets like their own kids, and there is no crisis. They will always nourish them no matter what happens. What are the statistics here?
Pet food, we had kind of double-digit growth every year. And this is also before the crisis as well. Because, as you mentioned,
interesting industry.
Cats and dogs are perceived part of the family. And the owner, the parents, are taking care of them like their kids. So they're giving the best. So you need to have a portfolio which is also based on, for sure, tasty, because otherwise the cat will not eat if it's not tasty, but healthy. So you see in Proplan, in Purina one, we have different recipes for different cat condition or dog condition. You know, sterile cat,
yes,
indoor cat,
yeah.
Indoor. So we have, our research, it is at the highest level also in pet food. So with these brands, Proplan and Purina one, Gourmet, we are developing a very good health and tasty proposition to the loved cats and dogs.
Are there some changes in the retail versus e-commerce numbers? Of course, online shopping was going up.
Of course, online shopping went up very high. Actually, let's say that the trade here locally was not as developed as in Europe, because in Europe you have countries where the e-commerce sale can be above 10%, while here in Croatia is below 2%. Yes, Especially, so okay, you may buy a computer, you may buy some clothes, but food is quite low. So for sure it was this need to deliver home, and you have the traditional pure players in e-commerce, which immediately expand their range of categories. Maybe they were selling, for example, before the crisis, we were selling a lot of Nescafe and Dolce Gusto. But during COVID in 2020-21, we sold a lot of food, a lot of confectionery, because people not visiting, they had to purchase. So we had the traditional pure players. We had some of the, how you are calling, brick and mortar, like Consum, yes, or other retailers, which they have their e-commerce sales. And for those who are prepared, they were able to grow sales in this channel. Nevertheless, nobody was really prepared, because normally in e-commerce before the crisis you have the Black Friday, where when you are missing usually the deliveries because so many orders. And imagine that during COVID you had orders like in Black Friday every day. So so this delivery, which is so important part of the service in e-commerce, was not ready. So but it was a big moment for many retailers and many producers to say, okay, let's
see how to adapt. Okay.
How to adapt.
Let's talk about local market. What are your teams for business plans for local and regional market?
Okay, so basically we have 3 companies here, one in Croatia, one in Slovenia, one in Bosnia and Herzegovina. We have local teams which are looking on the consumer demand, what the consumer is looking. We have also the sales team which are executing the strategies developed by marketing and trade marketing. So we are focusing on understanding the local needs, the transformation of the local consumers. So we are working a lot in defining local strategies for each country.
Okay, what will the strategy be for this year and for the next year? What are the main goals, main agendas based on your research and based on your research of the local needs?
Yes. First of all, we have a strategy which is not started with the pandemic, but it is from before, based also on the consumer change. So we see 3 main attributes a consumer is looking more and more today.
Okay.
Tasty for sure, yes. Healthier, we said that also pandemic even increased the need for tasty. Simplicity is also part of this strategy, because people need simple recipes to cook. And then is sustainability. So consumers are more and more looking on the sustainability from the farmer to the fork. Yes. So because there is a lot of so we have to go in this direction of reducing CO2 emission, waste to the landfill, because waste to landfill is producing a lot of methane, which is as dangerous as the CO2 emission. We have to be more efficient, like using water, electricity. Electricity should be from green sources, like hydropower. Yes, we are using in our factory in Surcin electricity on hydropower. Yes, plants. So packaging, we are moving to have recyclable and reusable packaging 100% by 2025, and which is very important for consumers. So this sustainability is important.
Okay, so it's a global goal, but it is also a local goal, of course. Do you have some specific local goals on Croatian market?
Yes, for sure. It is global and it is also very local. And we have plans for all 3 countries. I mentioned one of them. We started with this plant-based meal solution, Garden Gourmet.
Oh, okay.
this is a very good example because, as I mentioned, it is very tasty, very nutritional, and when you produce plant-based meals, your CO2 emissions are very low. And actually, you are developing. We have searching factory for culinary products, and we are developing a new part of the factory which will produce Garden Gourmet. So really, we have big local plans in these directions.
Great. During my experience, that I can see that the biggest issue in the whole sustainability process is on the consumer. So the key point is education.
No, I agree, but and there is one more important player here. It is the local community.
Yes, of course,
the
the
city,
local community.
the city, because recycling, you can prepare to you can prepare the bottles to be recyclable and reusable, but then you need to have the system to collect them and to go in the circular economy. So before consumers, you need to have a very good infrastructure on recycling, and this is the most important topic, to have a good infrastructure to collect. We have innovation not only in products, but since a few years ago we have this institute for packaging, where we are innovating in packaging. And you know, packaging is so important. We are speaking only about the part which is about pollution, but packaging, it's offering you the safetiness of the product, because you really need to be sure when you are eating, drinking home, you have a safe product there. So this is number one, yes. And then we are working on new types of materials, on recyclable and reusable packaging. We have a research center doing this. Nevertheless, we are innovative, and here it's not only us as Nestlé, but also other producers. We are working together as well in this. But nevertheless, you need to have a system of to collect and reuse. So
yes,
it is even more important. So this is why it's also important, this type of events, like we have this Future Tense.
To raise the awareness about the issue.
Raise the awareness, but also working together, not only raising, but working together with the local city hall, with the local community, with the other players, because as I said, so it is farming, and then it is supply chain.
It's a chain. Yeah.
It's then inside the company. Yes, all the practices we are doing, all the mindset of our people.
How do you attract and keep the talents in your company?
So we are attracting young generation. We have many programs with university, not only globally but also locally here in Croatia. Nestlé Need Youth, where we are going to university, where this program, so we are teaching them, coaching them on how to prepare for work, on what type
are you looking for in an employee? Maybe our viewers would like to know that they can prepare. What kind of skill set do you need? What kind of mindset? I know you talk a lot about leadership and communication skills.
So being entrepreneurial, it is one of the important skills. Young generation can bring a lot of new ideas. We spoke about e-business, e-commerce, digital marketing. So these young people can be our mentors. So you know, the reverse mentoring. So you need these young people to come inside your company, and they are coming. We are attracting them, and they are becoming our mentors. You know, reverse mentoring, because they are coaching us how to do digital marketing.
Very good, I like that. And in the end, just short kiss. Keep it short and simple. Trends. Which one will stay and have a big impact on the way we work?
Sustainability.
Okay.
This is the most important.
Well, this was
This
very
would be-
key, and keep it short and simple.
Sustainability.
Bravo! Sustainability, that's
Sustainability.
it.
We need to
Great.
keep our Earth also in 2050.
I agree.
Yes?
I agree.
We need to
definitely
preserve. We need to have
stick
where to live.
with that. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming today in our studio and thank you for all of your answers. A vama, dragi gledatelji, hvala na pozornosti i gledajte nas i sljedeći tjedan Business Talks na Poslovnom TV.